Hi everyone, today let's talk about one of the major component of our research, and that is research design. Within the methodology section, we have to be precisely very clear about our research design, whether we are preparing for research proposal or a research report after we conduct research in the field or in any sector. So today we are going to see research design very briefly. So let me just go through it. So our research design is the overall plan or structure for how a study will be conducted. It guides how you collect, analyze, and interpret data to answer your research questions. In short, it's a blueprint of your research. Then let's see what are the major types of research designs that we basically or mostly we use. First one, definitely it's quantitative research design that focuses more on numerical data, statistics, or it's objective. So to see some of the designs within the quantitative research designs which are mostly used are descriptive model, and the descriptive research design's purpose would be to describe characteristics or trends of anything, and examples for this particular descriptive research design would be household survey. And for me, particularly when I conducted research on renewable energy use in the rural Nepal, I used this model. And second quantitative research design would be correlational research design, and this helps to find out relationship between different variables, dependent and independent variables. For example, relationship between study time and academic performance, or in my research I was also seeing use of metallic improved cooking stoves and its contribution in decreasing carbon emission by a single household in a year. Likewise, the third one is experimental research design, and this helps to see or manipulate variables to test cause and effect. For example, effect of a training program on employee performance. It's purely cause and effect. Because of this training, certain percentage of the employee have started doing good in their job or something like that. Just cause and effect. And the fourth one is quasi-experimental. This is almost similar to the experimental one, but this is without randomization. For example, impact of policy change before and after its implementation. Very easy to see, is good. That makes sense. This example makes sense. Impact of certain policy changes before and after its implementation. Similarly, the fifth one is causal comparative, or we can say this ex post fact as well. This helps to compare existing groups after events have occurred. For example, comparing stress level of teachers versus doctors. These are some of the quantitative research designs that we mostly use. Likewise, we have second one, that's qualitative research design. This qualitative research design focuses mainly to generate meaning, to explore experiences, and also to understand social and human behaviors, which require to spend time with them and listen them, many more. Let's see some of the qualitative research designs. And first one here I have put for you is phenomenological research design, and this research design helps to explore lived experiences over the time. For example, experience of mothers caring for dengue affected children. Likewise, we have second research design in qualitative, that's case study. This helps to deeply investigate on a single case or context. For example, a rural community's adoption of solar power or rural community's adoption of metallic improved cooking stoves or cooking stoves. Likewise, there is ethnographic research design as well. This research design helps to study culture or social groups in its setting. For example, cultural adaptation of returning migrants in Nepal, if they are coming back from the Western world, then it might be a little different to adjust in Nepal, and we can just see cultural adaptation of returning migrants in Nepal or whatever. This is related to the culture. And the fourth one is grounded theory. This grounded theory helps to understand or develop develop a theory over the period of time from the field data. For example, developing a model of student resilience, but this requires series of conversation or observation or being with them and coming to a point of saturation where there are no further information to be collected. I mean, researcher has to reach to that level to form a theory. And the last one here I have put for you is narrative research. This narrative research helps to explore personal stories and meanings. A PhD student's journey through failure and growth. Now the third section that we have is for key mixed methods research design. First we talked about quantitative, second we talked about qualitative, and now we talk about mixed methods research design. And what are the some of the mixed method research designs? And first one here I have put for you is explanatory sequential research design, and sequence would be first quantitative followed by qualitative. This sign quant and qual that you see in my screen on my screen is quantitative followed by qualitative. So mostly first stage will include quantitative survey followed by explaining the data in why part. First collect and analyze quantitative data, then use qualitative data to explain or elaborate on the numbers. Example, survey and teachers stress, then interviews to explain why stress level differ. Or in my case, I did impact of metallic improved cooking stoves in the rural Nepal. For this, my questions were like, what is the number of amount of firewood reduced after the installation of metallic improved cooking stoves, and later I explained different reasons for those data in the field. Likewise, I will develop separate video on this particular model, i.e. explanatory sequential research design. The second one is exploratory sequential design, and this like just opposite of the first one. First we talked about quantitative followed by qualitative. Here in the exploratory sequential research design we have qualitative followed by quantitative. First to qualitative exploration to identify themes, then quantitative testing to generalize findings. For example, interviews to find key learning barriers, then survey to measure their prevalence. And the third one is convergent parallel design. This is quantitative plus qualitative. It goes simultaneously, not one after another, but it goes together. Collecting both at the same time, analyze separately, then compare and integrate. For example, survey and interviews conducted together to triangulate findings. And the fourth one, embedded design. This comes with one main approach plus small part of another. What does this mean? If it is quantitative, main would be quantitative followed by few of the qualitative approaches, or main would be qualitative followed by few of the quantitative approaches. One data type supports the main study, just other one will be playing the supporting role only. Mainly quantitative with qualitative follow-up notes. If we are doing in that model, then our research design would be embedded design. One of them is leading. One of them means either qualitative or quantitative. One will be highly leading, let's say 90% of quantitative, followed by few notes on 10% notes on qualitative. But just likewise, we have transformative design. This is guided by social justice or advocacy purpose. Research integrates mixed method to promote equity or policy change. For example, studying gender inclusion in renewable energy projects. Likewise, the last one that I have for you today is multi-phase design. Several connected studies using both methods used in long-term complex research programs. Example would be phases of intervention, design, testing, and evaluations. Hope this was helpful for you to make a little bit of sense, but if you want to see in detail, you refer to Chris Wells' research methods. For now, I just keep it here. Hope that was helpful.